Good evening, our dear Encourager family and
Good
friends.
evening.
We are back on our Thursday nights live to give you guys some great information. We're always coming on to make sure that we educate and acknowledge our caregivers and our chronic health warriors on this journey. Today, we're going to be talking about the power of positive thought. So, positive thought power. I want you guys to remember PTP, positive thought power. That's what we're going to be
Good.
discussing
Yeah.
tonight.
You always
How,
have wonderful ways to say things.
thank you, Fred. Um, so, that's what we're going to be talking about tonight how your positive thinking affects your health physically, mentally, and emotionally. So, the power of positive thinking, that is so real. So, that's what we're going to be discussing with you guys tonight.
I'm sorry, y'all.
So, if y'all have any questions, comments, please get in the message and share with us, ask us questions, because we like it when it's interactive. Is It help us give you guys more information and encourages us to continue to do this, because we know that this journey can be challenging, but it can be very rewarding. So we want to make sure that we're always acknowledging our chronic healthcare warriors and our caregivers, and also making sure that we're giving you guys pertinent information. Miss Keisha, you
Yes,
ready?
I am saying I am, but I just wanted to make sure that I I practiced this before it,
Yeah.
I got on, and as always we keep learning things that we should know before we do these um, presentations. And mine has still been how to work these lovely monitors and my and my mouse together. But yes, as Vanessa was saying, we're going to be talking about how to improve our positive thinking, because I know that is one of my major challenges. And that's why I love Vanessa, because every time we're around, I usually slip into the stinking thinking, is what I'm calling this presentation today. And she'll go, well, how about we say it blah, 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 blah way? And I'm like, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, 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 yeah. You're right. We're going to do it this way because that's the more positive way of doing things. So that's why I usually am sad when Vanessa leaves, because now I got to try to figure it out on my own. Like what happened to my slides that I was looking at right then. Um, so I'm gonna do it the other way.
It's okay. We're going to get it.
No,
Guys, I want, we're saving these, we record them, because when this thing is in deep in season, 3 to 5 years from now, we're going to look back, because I know that God has a special purpose and place for us. And that is why we have all these challenges, because our rewards are going to be great. It seems like each week we are having some type of challenges, and it's mainly technical issues, weather, sick, but we're gonna look back on this and we're gonna be like, we made it through, and that's and it just goes to show you life. We are here and we are real. These are things that you guys endure each day, and we endure 'em each day. So you guys get to see it live and in color.
Yes, you do. And this should be showing now. Well, let's get this going. Okay, there we go. And so the power of positive thinking, and they're supposed to say stinking thinking, which is a term that I did not hear until I was actually in, wait a minute, what I was a well, I am a Mary Kay consultant, but I first heard it when I went to one of their conventions. And what happened, I thought, which was very interesting. I guess I should not do that. Did I take it off the screen?
You did.
What I thought was really interesting was that, they were saying stinking a lot. And I was like, why would you say that? Stinking, a person is entitled to their actual thoughts and blah, 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 because of course I was all up in my negative thoughts at that moment. And so we're going to go on the other side. So we won't stay there too long with calling it stinking thinking, I hope. But the power of positive thinking. And so this week, what we're going to do is we're going to talk about it from the standpoint of just in life. And then I'm thinking next week what we'll do is how it affects, help me Lord, how it affects us medically next week. Okay. So as far as stinking thinking, it's also called cognitive distortions. And so there are a few types of the actual distortions. And we're going to talk about them now. Okay, so typically it's all or nothing. They say black or white thinking, and it helps keep that type of thinking keeps a record of thought, including the feelings and behaviors that accompany them. And you can begin to recognize because typically you'll be thinking in absolutes. Okay, so typically you always, I always, this always happens to me. Why does bad things always happen to me? Susie Q is always so lucky. She never gets sick. She never, okay? That is the all or nothing. The all or nothing thing. We'll fix that. I'm sorry. Okay. As far as the next type of thinking is usually seeing a pattern based upon a single event and being overly broad when drawing a conclusion. I sounded stupid while giving that presentation. I always sound stupid when I speak to people. I just want to let you know I added that for me because that is one of the ones that I just thought I may say today. But seriously, that does happen. And when people get in that actual state, sometimes it's just always hard to get them out of it. Okay. And so what you should do is try to train yourself to say, is this actually true? And then other people around you may say that is a form of complaining, even though you're saying what's on your heart, but that is how it's typically taken as, And so when you're doing that, you should always ask yourself, am I basing my thoughts on fact or feeling? Seriously, what is the evidence for what I'm thinking? Could I be misinterpreting the evidence? Am I viewing the situation as black and white when it's really more complicated? Okay. So that's some things that you can do to try to calm yourself, bring yourself down from when you're actually having one of those moments. Now, the next type of negative thought is mental filter. And that's like when you only pay attention to a certain type of evidence and you focus on the negative. Okay. Then you should say, what am I worried about? Is it likely to come true? And I see that more when I'm anxious. I just, and what you ain't like, is this really true, Keisha? That's something that I tend to think about. And and that's something that you should tend to think about also. And then that's what I was just telling you about, will it come true? Now, the next thing is discounting the positive. When you look over everything else that's positive in the situation, and you just feel like nothing else happened but the one bad thing. And then, like if you get something right, oh, that was just a lucky guess. You just can't accept that you did something right. Or you try. But a positive thing that you can do in that situation is try reframing it to something positive. Like, that was bold of me to try to do what I did. So let me try to do it. I should try to do it again more often. Okay. The next thing is jumping to conclusions. When we interrupt the meaning of a situation with little or no, excuse me, interpret the meaning of a situation with little or no evidence. It can come from imagining we know what others are thinking, and then thinking we can predict the future. Okay, it's like, I already know what he's going to tell me. I know it. Thinking we can predict the future. Like, when you go to the doctor is going to give you the worst possible result because you just know it. You've done some research, and I think one of the best things you can do is stay away from Google and WebMD, because if you go there, it gives you so much information. It will have you really overthinking and jumping to conclusions and ready to go order your casket and all those things, because you have gone to these different types of sites, and then you aren't able to figure out what exactly what you need to eliminate from what's all there that's not related to what's going on with you. So, and since you already know you can't predict the future, so just relax, and wait until you get around those who can give you the proper answers. Now, emotional reasoning. Now, This is when negative feelings inform your thoughts without facts to support those thoughts. I feel like nobody likes me. This may be brought on by feelings of loneliness, even though you have friends. And I think these next few slides are the reason why Dear Encourager was actually founded. Okay, because that we're, especially from the people with chronic illnesses, is because the chronic people with chronic illnesses were, trying to, let's say, vent to your friends, and they were like, okay, I hear you, but bye. And they didn't want to necessarily have you around because they thought maybe you would be a Debbie Downer in that moment, and they wanted to have fun and keep it light. So this is something, that kind of led to our founding. And the emotional reasoning can help you identify the emotion that you're feeling. Okay. And then it can lead to a negative thought because you don't have any evidence in that area to help you feel like, like what's going on? Why am I feeling this negative thought at this moment? Okay. But then if you have trouble pinpointing the emotion, you focus on that behavior that you're having at that moment, and then you can determine what's triggering the behavior. So it's, so when we get to having the care support groups that are individualized, this will be a time where you can maybe talk to your peers in your support group and say, hey, this is what's going on. But just know that your support groups may be able to help you, allow you to vent and say how you're feeling, and be able to listen to the point where you can figure out where that behavior comes from. But they also will be telling you you need to go and find a therapist who can help you get through that behavior and walking through, because you're going to have to maybe find professional help to actually go and help you through that. So this is why going and getting help is good, okay? But also addressing the actual behavior is required. And I thought it was a good idea to stop here because I think it's because there are a couple more of the actual behaviors, but I think it is, I'm trying to get it to stop sharing on another monitor. And but also, I don't want to just did I stop it from sharing?
It's not sharing.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not sharing.
So sorry. I'm trying. Okay.
It's okay.
Are those our notes or somebody else talking? That's our notes. Okay. That's why I thought that it's best for us to stop here and talk about why it's important to assess your thoughts and why you're doing certain things to remain positive. Because if you don't assess it and understand that you have to be in control of your thoughts in this, it's not going to be a good outcome. What do you think, Vanessa?
That's absolutely correct. It's just the old saying how you basically, we are what we eat, we are what we think. So if I constantly think something negative is going to happen because I'm constantly in that thought process. Um, for instance, if I keep telling myself I'm bad, I'm bad, I'm bad, I'm bad, I'm bad, or I don't do this or I don't do that, then I'm going to do that because my mind is telling me, which I'm going to have certain feelings, and then I'm going to create actions that are those thoughts. So we have a thought, we have a feeling, then it produces an action.
Mm-hmm.
So, and that's usually what happens. Just like when it's negative, it also can turn positive. If we can continually tell ourselves positive things, then positive things come into our life. I just always, it's just like the seeds we sow and the seeds we plant. So whatever we plant in our minds and our bodies, that's what's going to grow. So we have to make sure that we're constantly planting those good thoughts and those positive thoughts so they can grow and flourish within us. Not to say that we're not going to have, because we're human. We're going to have a negative thought, a negative feeling, but we can't sit in it, and we can't ruminate on them. So we can't do that or meditate on them or anything like that, because that's when it starts to become embedded in us. It starts to grow. But unfortunately, it doesn't flourish. It grows more like a tumor or a cancer.
That's true. And like I'm trying to have positive thoughts because this is difficult for me. Having the problems that I have and trying to be on here and talk amongst people. And yeah. And so remaining positive and not running for the hill is kind of.
And that's what we have to focus on right there, Keisha, is that you didn't run from the hills and you're doing it. Even though no matter how difficult and how challenging this is for you, you're doing it. You're doing it and you're doing it well. So that's what you have to focus on. And it's a example of how we are quick to think about what we are, quote unquote, not good at, or it's a weakness, or where it's not one of our strong points, but you're doing it. It may not be. That's how we get better, is to continue doing it. So you are doing it, and that's what we have to focus on, that no matter how much, and that's what courage is, and that's what we are. We're encouragers, and that's what courage is doing those things that are difficult, challenging, scary for us, but we continue to do them, even though they are scary or difficult for us. So you're an epitome of dear encourager, because you're courageously doing something that's very difficult and challenging for you.
But I know everyone
No,
watching.
No, but
it's I'm trying to figure out how we can change our layout. Can you change our layout? Because I don't know if they can even see us.
no, I believe we can. Hold on, let me look at one of our. Um, let me look and see what it's doing. Yeah, we can see. Nope, we can see both.
Somebody said nope.
That was me. It's a
Oh, okay.
delay. It's a delay.
Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, what I want, and I'm sure you want the same thing. I'm just gonna say it, and then you say no if it's not. Okay. we want what we want as Dear Encourager to continues to grow. We want to okay. We want for us to first understand that we are here to support, but also understand that there is such a need for everyone to understand that in order for there to be change, it has to be acceptance of the need for a change. Okay. Because if you keep doing the same thing, expecting the same results, it's going to never be a change. Okay. And also, but we want you in this to understand that your mindset has to be changed. You may be in a negative situation. I'm not saying that that's going to change, but I just hope somewhere in your journey that you're able to find a way to say, I'm going to be in this forever, but I got to find a way that I can exist and find a way to exist and function.
And live. I'm going to use the word live.
Live.
Okay. I'm going to use the word live because we all want to live. We don't want to be in survival mode. We want to live. And you have to find a way that how am I going to live in this and be me and be happy? I'm going to find a happy medium. No matter how difficult and how challenging it is, I'm going to be positive in it. And this is something that I am. Let's not let it define you, because you are more than whatever your sickness is. You are more than whatever your health condition is. Or if you have several, you are more than what they are. So this is something that I'm having to go through. This is something that is a part of me. And that's what it is. But it is not going to define me.
Well said. Because I found that Dear Encourager has been my way to live. It's been my way to find purpose. Also the way to wear me out. So I got to find that boundary. But yes, we got to find a way to live. And everyone has a different problem, different pain, all that. In no way am I minimizing that. But we just got to find a way to live. And if that is, I don't have a caregiver, I don't have family nearby, then that's what Dear Encourager is created for. We may not have money right now, but I'm just going to be real. We're a nonprofit and we need your donations quickly, please. But
yes.
But we may not have that, but we may be able to help work out a plan to help you live.
Yes, most definitely.
Definitely. So that is what we want to let you understand, that the purpose of Dear Encourager, and a lot of people were saying they didn't really understand what our purpose is. That's one of them. Making sure that people who come to us, if they have problems and they need to be able to get help to live, we want to be able to help that. So that's a part of, I don't have, but Dear Encourager is here, and I know what they can do to help for us. they will do.
Yes.
Thinking positively.
Yes.
So, questions, anybody? Questions? Any questions? You got any over here?
And guys, know that even when we get off and we're not live, you guys can still put your questions in the comments and we will answer them. We will make sure that we answer your questions in the comments. So even once we're off of here, if you have questions or if you think of something, please let us know.
Yes, and the website too, and that contact us. Feel free to leave information there, because we want to be able to, help in some way, even if it's contacting someone else, connect you with somebody else.
Right.
And
that's what we're here for too, is resources.
Speaking of resources, since I don't know how to be able to make you see this. Vanessa, how can I make them see?
I think you guys go closer to the camera. There you go. What? You went too close. Out a little bit. Right there. Right there. That is our Dear Encourager cup. So, yes.
So we're adding this into the fold. So this is our Dear Encourager tumbler. Okay. It's not on the website yet, but you can feel free to contact us and say if you're interested. We're going to get it on there though. Okay. Same price as the encouragement cup, $20. And this is to help us to continue to serve the community. And we don't charge the community for help, but everything requires money to actually be able to serve them. Okay, so that's that. And we still have the encouragement cups if you want those, and our shirts. And Vanessa, I'm gonna get yours in the mail.
Oh,
but here's the shirts.
Yes.
So they're $25 if you're interested in those, but you don't have to even buy that. There is a wonderful button on the website, and it just says donate. And that's all you have to do is just donate. And then if GoFundMe is available, feel free to use that if you like. We don't get any of that fee that they charge, so I'm just letting you know it's available, but we are not. So, it's available. Your choice to use. And but again, we would love for you to help us and our health warriors, as Vanessa has coined, and I love it, and our caregivers.
Yes. So we thank you for always tuning in, watching, and please let us know how we can continue to assist you guys and what other information that you guys feel is pertinent. And we will be going into part 2 of this next week on how positive thinking affects, in a positive manner, your health mentally and physically.
Yes. I thank you.
Have a good night.
Good night.